Well, finally tonight, a Checkpoint listener, Keith, got in touch yesterday lamenting the deficit of good news in the world right now. So this one is for you, Keith. Now, do stick with it because, spoiler alert, it does have a happy ending. Matamata locals have been desperately trying to rescue a curious and possibly greedy local cat that went all Winnie the Pooh on it and got its head firmly stuck in a peanut butter jar. Now, that was about 2 weeks ago. Since then, the distressed moggie has been seen darting all over the place with the, jar still in place, and locals in hot pursuit, concerned that after so long without food or proper access to water, the cat was getting to the end of its 9 lives. Annaliese England from the Matamata Animal Trust explains just how tight a squeeze this tabby was in.
He's pretty small. He's an older cat, but there would have been very minimal air going in between the rim and his neck, so it was right over his head past his ears. So I'm surprised that he could actually breathe. He would have barely been able to breathe. So, of course, he couldn't eat or drink.
And it was beyond the point of return for him being able to, weasel his way out of there on his own.
Yeah. And I would say he'd tried everything. And, of course, because it was plastic and not glass, it's not like it would have smashed on anything. He would have ended up dying that way if no one had actually caught him.
So you track him to this particular area, and then what? How did you manage to capture him?
Well, so we were setting traps and stuff, but of course he couldn't smell, so he wasn't going to go into a trap. People were getting very close to catching him, but he just kept darting off, and because it's such a tight area, he'd go under fences, and then you'd lose sight of him. So last Friday, we completely lost him, and we thought, that's it, And then yesterday, which was Monday, he got spotted out 3 k's from where we're even searching. So he was heading out to the country. Through fields and everything, he got spotted running across the road into someone else's property. So we headed out there, and he was sheltering in a sort of a bush area, which then we barricaded it off and ended up catching him with a pole, because I had to come from over the top of him to put a rope on his neck to safely catch him and put him in his cage. And there was no way we were letting him out of that cat cage, because this cat's the whole of Matamata's been looking for this cat.
So Annaliese, tell me, how does one prise a peanut butter jar off the head of a fully grown cat?
So I took him down to the vet straight away, and they sedated him I think they ended up cutting it off. And then, of course, when he's sedated and relaxed, it is a lot easier to get it off rather than them fighting and, putting up a resistance. So, it did come off, but he definitely enjoyed his food and water last night while recovering.
I bet. What did he have? What did he have for tea?
I think the vets would have fed him some pretty good food. It would have been something sensitive for his stomach, because after not eating for so long, you've got to be careful that you don't actually just flood them with food.
And is he in good spirits?
Yeah. He's pretty. His head is pretty. What would you say? Like he's got rubbing on the ears and stuff from being in it, which is expected. And he's, of course, very thin from not being able to eat or drink. But he generally is in good health. He's an older cat, so seems to be fine. He's a little bit skittery, but I think he's calmer today than what he was yesterday. So I think over time he will become, quite friendly.
Do you rehome him now, Annaliese?
Yeah, so we will go through the protocol of holding on to him and seeing if there is an owner around, or, that has possibly missed him. I mean, some cats go missing for years. But if no one comes forward or we don't find anyone, then he will be rehomed. There's already people that want him in Matamata. So he'll go to a foster home tomorrow to recuperate and then get some love and then get rehomed.
So, what are you calling him, Annaliese?
Well, we've decided to call him Peanut because he was in a peanut butter jar. So, yes, his name is Peanut, and I think he's ended up pretty famous around town.